Hi guys, my name is Ashley, and this video is just going to be about my interview process for the Fall Advantage 2015 season. I'm just going to go over everything that she asked me, give you guys some tips about it, and so hopefully that it can help you in your interview process as well. So the first thing that she asked me was some simple questions. Whenever I answered the phone, she asked if it was a good time to talk. So they'll always ask you that. And then she just asked me some simple questions like, do I like to work inside or outside, and how I deal with the heat. Then she also asked me how I like heights, if I am scared of heights, or if I would be willing to work on heights. So after that, she asked me about the Disney look and asked me if I was aware of everything that the Disney look entails, which I am. So I did say I was. And so then she asked me if I have any body modifications, so which means if my hair is a different, like, crazy color, if I have gauges, if I have multiple piercings in my ears or on my face, and I told her no. And they do also ask about tattoos, and I would be honest, even if your tattoo is hidden, like I have a small tattoo on my back, that is covered up with clothing, but I did mention it to her just so they can write it down. It's better to be safe than sorry in that aspect. So after that, she started talking a little bit about the roles that I had put interest in. She mentioned that I had put interest for character performer, which I didn't put that on my original application. And so after she got done asking if I was planning on going to a audition, I just let her know, I wasn't interested in that and I didn't put that down. And if I did, I'm very sorry. And she was completely understanding, and she said that's why she asks, and that's why we go over these questions. So if your interviewer tells you something that you didn't put down, I would definitely mention it to them, because they won't get mad at you. They would rather you be more honest than anything. Then she started to ask me about my experiences and like the role or the position I am in now, currently while I'm in school. And I just kind of explained to her like what I did in that position, and then also what I did in my past positions. So the first thing that we kind of talked about was, I think it was hospitality. And so she just kind of asked me about my degree, which is in hospitality management, and asked me why I would be fit for that position. And I kind of just, told her that, that is my degree, and I've taken a lot of classes and that, so I am very familiar with that role specifically, and that's the one I feel like I have most experience in. And so after that, she asked me a scenario question. One of the scenario questions that she asked me for hospitality is, if you were at the front desk checking a guest in, and there was a guest in the lobby just screaming and yelling and being irate, and then you had a new cast member right next to you, and she was trying to check someone in, but was so new that she didn't know how would you handle that situation? So I just answered, honestly, how I personally would handle that situation. You answer how you would, but that is one of the questions if you are a hospitality that they will ask you. So a few more questions that they asked me. They asked me how I would handle situations in like an emergency, like how would you handle that, how would you keep your guests calm. And they also asked me about merchandise, and so she kind of related it back to when I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond, and she said, what would you do if working at Bed Bath & Beyond or Disney, if you were out of a specific product, what would you tell a customer, and how would you make them happy? So I kind of just answered, when I was at Bed Bath & Beyond, I told her how we would make the customer happy, and then I went in and said, and if I was at Disney, this is how I would make the customer happy. So make sure when you're talking about your past experiences, really relate them with what role you're doing, because that's what they want to see the most, is experience. So another thing she asked me with merchandise is if I had cash handling experience, which I have. And so after that, she asked a few other just simple questions like that, cash handling experience, if you're okay with this, if you're okay with that. Most of the things you will be okay with, because they're so simple. But what I want to stress the most, I think, is they don't ask you anymore why they don't ask you why do you want to work for Disney, or like why do you think you would be a good fit for Disney. And so she kind of just asked, instead of that, she asked what role specifically would I be or feel the most have experience in. And so, like, my top 3 roles were floral, because that's new this year, which I'll talk about that in a second, concierge, and then also hospitality. And so whenever she asked me that specific question, I just told her how I told her how in all 3 of those roles I feel the most confident, because they just relate to my major the most. So, back on the floral topic. Floral is a new role. So, I have heard from many different people that floral, it's a very limited role, so that means there's not going to be a lot of available positions for that. So there's that. I have also heard that the interviewers don't know that much about this role since it is so new. So, yeah, you're just kind of winging it on that one. That's what I did. So just a few tips I have for you guys is make sure you remember your interviewer's name. When she first calls, she'll introduce herself, and I would recommend writing that down and using it throughout the interview. It's just a really good thing to use, and they will notice it. Second tip is to always smile during your interview, because you can tell during your interview if you're smiling, and it brings up your whole entire personality, and the interviewer will really hear that in your voice as you're talking. And try and be upbeat and happy, because that's what they want as a cast member. They want cast members who are upbeat and happy, so make sure you're doing that during your interview. I would also not recommend just like reading directly off your sheet that you have or have not done. I feel like the interviewer can tell if you're just, like reading off a sheet, and it just sounds not as personable. So try not to do that. If anything, try and make bullet points and kind of cross them off as you go. I know during my interview, I had no time to even really like look for the question she was asking me. I kind of just thought about it and kind of remembered like what I thought about previously and said that. So my interview lasted just at 29 minutes, so just about the 30-minute mark, which I think is like really good. We talked about a lot of interesting stuff. She was very, very nice, very personable. She did mention, not to be expecting a response. Give it about a month and a half. She said like the end of March is when they'll be sort of done recruiting. They will be doing a little bit after that, but just be patient. I know whenever I applied for fall, or when I applied in the fall for spring of 2015, I applied on, I think it was September 10th, and I got a response back on October 28th telling me that I was accepted. So it can take that long. I didn't end up going because I am going to France for spring break, and so that's why I'm applying for this season. So hopefully I do have a good chance of getting in. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments or anything, just comment below and I'll try and answer them the best that I can. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. I will have some more vlogs up soon. I am going to France, like I said, for spring break, so I plan on vlogging during that. I do also plan on putting a roommate vlog if I do get in, and just some more things about my life. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you. Bye.